Today we are going to study past adjustment. Past adjustment means any kind of rectification or any kind of error you have made, right? Any kind of omission you have made. So you are rectifying that thing in this financial year. That is called past adjustment. That means any kind of adjustment you are doing for the past year for the which account has already been closed. That is called past adjustment. Now let's say that you have forget to pay the interest on capital, or you have forgot to pay the salary, or you have forgot to record any kind of transaction into the books of account. That is called past adjustment. Now this adjustment can be done through two way. You can do by taking one adjustment entry taking effects for all errors. So all error, whatever errors are there, you are taking effect of that, and net impact will be taken through one entry, or by taking entry for each adjustment. So in that case, what you can do is, for every adjustment you are taking, you have to take one adjustment entry, right? So there are two ways where all the transaction taken together and you are taking only one entry, or in other case you are taking adjustment entry for each and every transaction which you are taking as an adjustment. Now we will go for first thing. Now when we are taking one adjustment entry, first, when one adjustment entry is taken, so in that condition what you have to do is, first you have to take each transaction and you have to make an analytical table, right? The analytical table usually you can prepare according to you as per accounting standard or as per company act. There is no format which has been suggested. You can, because entry is the main thing, the other are the, you have to show as working notes. So the first thing most of the people do that, this is the way. Let's say you have three partners, right? So A's debit and credit, B's debit and credit, let's say C is also there, so debit and credit. And then what is the impact when you are making every partner's debit and credit? What is the impact of on the firm? Then you take the entry. Now I'm taking one example of that, right? Let's say, so the example is, let's say you have forgot to pay interest on capital, right? So you have to take entry for interest on capital. You forgot to take entry for interest on capital. That means you forget to give the interest on capital. Now A's capital is 1 lakh rupees, B's capital is 50,000 rupees, and C's capital is 50,000 rupees, and their ratio is, we can say A is to B is to C, 2 is to 1 is to 1. This is the ratio, right? And they have capital and rate of interest on capital is 10% per annum, right? So we have to give 10% of this to Mr. A. So obviously A will be credited if we are giving anything to the partner, so that he will be credited. So 10% of this is 10,000 rupees, right? So if we are giving 10% of Mr. B of capital 50,000, that means 5,000 we are giving to him. and C's capital is 50,000. 10% of this is 5,000 rupees. So if we are giving 10,000, 5,000, 5,000 to partners, that means 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. 20,000 is being debited in the profit and loss appropriation account of the partnership capital or partnership firm. That means partnership firm has to give 20,000 to the partner. So that means 20,000 is being debited to the partnership firm, right? So this is now this 20,000 which are being debited to the partnership firm, that needs to be distributed among the partners as well, because firms are partner and partner of firms. So 20,000 will be credited here because we are setting off 20,000 rupees debit to partners. So that is equal. Now this 20,000 will be adjusting in A, B, C in the ratio which is profit sharing ratio 2:1:1. That is 20,000 2 और 1 3 और 1 4 5 10,000, right? 5,000 and 5,000, right? So no entry will be there. अगर ऐसे मैं करूँगा तो यहाँ तो entry नहीं होगी 10,000 की, ठीक है? We have to take another. Let's say these are the ratio हम लेते हैं 1:2, ऐसे लेते हैं, तब आएगी एंट्री. देखिए 1, 1 and 2. Let's say this is the ratio, right? This is the ratio. So 1, 1 and 2. Now we have to distribute this. We have to set up this debit amount. So this is 1, 1, 2, 4, 5,000, 5,000 and 10,000. Now this will be debited here. That is, you can write this was interest on capital, right? This was loss which happened to the partnership firm, and this is 5,000 to this partner, 5,000 to this partner and 10,000 to this partner. Now what you have to do is you have to find out the debit and credit of each partner. जो ज़्यादा होगा उसको डेबिट या क्रेडिट कर देंगे. देखिए 5,000, this is 10,000, right? अभी देखते हैं 5,000 and 5,000, 10,000 and 5,000. Now what is the way to take entry? Now I'm taking entry over here, ठीक है? जेई लेने का तरीका क्या होता है, जनरल एंट्री लेने का तरीका क्या होता है? देखिए पहला पार्टनर, देखिए डेबिट ज्यादा है या क्रेडिट ज्यादा है? क्रेडिट ज्यादा है, तो एज कैपिटल अकाउंट आई एम टेकिंग एज टू एज कैपिटल or current account as the case may be depending upon, right? What is the difference? 5,000, 10,000. So ये credit is 5,000 से ज्यादा तो उसको 5,000 से credit कर देंगे, ठीक है? B 5,000, 5,000, no entry because he is getting what he needs to get. C को 5,000 मिलने थे पर 10,000 का एडजस्टमेंट डेबिट से हुआ तो 5,000 इसका डेबिट ज्यादा तो उसको डेबिट कर देंगे. तो C's capital or current account debit 5,000. So this is the way how journal entry has to be taken for any kind of past adjustment, right? अभी देखिए ये जो तरीका है कुछ लोग इसे अलग तरीके से भी बनाते हैं. इसको जरूरी नहीं है आप ऐसे ही बनाएंगे, ठीक है? Because this is your answer is this is your only working note. So sometimes what happens, let's say this is A, right? B and C. How do we do that? Okay, देखिए इसको हमने क्या करना, ये डेबिट है और ये क्रेडिट है, ठीक है? नेट इम्पैक्ट. This is the way how some people make. So how much we have to credit him? हमें कितना देना है इसको देना है 10,000 rupees. So we have to credit him 10,000 rupees, right? He has to needs to be credited by 5,000 rupees and C 5,000 rupees, ठीक है? अब इनको डेबिट कितने से करना है? A को 5,000 rupees से needs to be debited, B 5,000 needs to be debited and C 10,000 needs to be credited. Now net impact क्या होगा यहाँ पे निकाल लीजिए, ठीक है? ये आपका हो जाएगा 5,000 क्रेडिट, ठीक है? ऐसे भी करते हैं लोग. और no entry and this is 5,000 debit. So there is no need to make firm etc or just you have to name the partner and debit and credit. Now you can take the entry 5,000 A needs to be credited, so we have done the credit, and C 5,000 needs to be debited, we have debited that. So this is also one of the way, right? So ये हमारा तरीका है करने का जब हमें एक ही एंट्री लेनी होती है सारे ट्रांजैक्शन की. Now second thing is when you have to take different kind of entry for the different transactions, right? उसमें you don't have to distribute the debit amount which was coming into the firm, right? वो आपको करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आपको दिमाग लगेगा कि sometimes people scared that or they are afraid of that what kind of amount that is coming because we don't have any information in the questions. So उनके लिए बहुत अच्छा होता है. ये दूसरा वाला जो मैंने करवाया है या ये भी एक तरीका है. देखिए सेकंड में when different or each entry different entries taken for each adjustment. Now for each adjustment what you have to do is you have to take the entry. Now मैं आपको इसमें से आपको कुछ information दे रहा हूँ. There are ABC partner, A, B and C partner. 1:1:2 is the ratio. Their capital is 1 lakh rupees, 50,000 rupees and 50,000 rupees, right? Same. इनको देना है इंटरेस्ट ऑन कैपिटल, हम भूल गए हैं 10% के रेट से देना है पर एनम, राइट? एंड बी नीड्स टू गेट द सैलरी, बी सैलरी हम भूल गए देना, बी की सैलरी है 10,000 रुपीज, ठीक है? ये भी एक तरीका होता है. अब देखिए इसमें हम अलग अलग एंट्री लेंगे हर एक चीज की. सबसे पहले अब ये क्या होता है एक्चुअली में, वी हैव टू डू each and every entry through profit and loss adjustment account, right? This would be the account which will be debited or credited according to the situation, and then whatever the debit or credit is there that needs to be distributed among the partners. Same thing होगा तो वही आपको करना तो पड़ेगा ही, ठीक है? तो फर्स्ट एंट्री सेकंड पार्ट में A. So what we have to do is we have to give interest to partners, interest on capital to the partners, right? So partners capital account will be credited because we are giving something to the partners. So I'm taking a capital account here, right? Capital account, let's say we have fluctuating capital account, right? B's capital account and C's capital account, right? We have to give how much? 10%, 10%, 10% to each. So 10,000 he is getting, 5,000 he is getting, and 5,000 he is getting, right? Now we have to do through profit and loss adjustment account, right? So profit and loss adjustment account has been debited by 20,000. बस ये ध्यान रखना, ठीक है? This is first entry. Now second B. Profit and loss, B salary. We have forgot to give the B salary. So obviously profit and loss adjustment account debit. Had it been the previous case, we would have taken the one entry only by making the debit and credit net impact of the partners, or whatever the debit would be there in the partnership firm. We would have distributed that and we have taken the one entry. But here we are taking the different entry, right? So profit and loss account debit to B. B's capital account, right? He's getting salary 10,000 rupees. So 10,000, 10,000. Now see, two entry which we forget to give the amount to the partners. We have given. Now see, profit and loss adjustment, profit and loss adjustment. Profit and loss adjustment is debit balance of rupees 20,000, 10,000. That is 30,000. That 30,000 needs to be debited to the partners account, right? In the ratio 1:1:2. So what is 4? 4 से इसको डिवाइड कर लो, यानी कि A, B, C. तो ये हो गया आपका, ये हो जाएगा 7,500, 1, 1, 2, 7,500, 7,500 and 15,000. So what we are going to do that in the C to adjust all the debit balance of the profit and loss adjustment account, we will take A's capital account debit. that is 7,500. B's capital account debit 7,500 and C's capital account debit by 15,000, and to profit and loss adjustment account narration you can write your own 30,000. That debit balance of the profit and loss adjustment account settled, right? So 30,000 we have adjusted towards the partner's capital account. अब देखिए profit and loss adjustment debit balance 20,000, debit balance 10,000, 30,000 credited. So your account get closed by taking this entry. So this is the second way. When we are taking the different entry, you have to read the question carefully whether the question is asking for taking one adjustment entry or simply saying take the adjustment entry. So then you have to take one adjustment entry. When it is saying okay, take adjustment entries for the transaction or for the adjustment of all the errors, or take the adjustment entry for errors, then you have to take all the adjustment entries for all the errors or rectification you are doing, and then whatever the balance is there in the profit and loss adjustment account, you have to adjust with the partner. Sometimes it would be credit balance, so you have to give to the partner, so that time partner's capital account will be credited. So this is the way how the past adjustments are done. We will take it further by taking the other questions. Okay, so this is a past adjustment. In practical class we will take the question. Till then, thank you very much. Have a nice day.